Hello everyone, welcome back. It is again Season, coming at you with another video, and today I've got 5 unpopular Call of Duty opinions for you. So these are things that I've noticed about Call of Duty that I would like to see changed, or just things that I think about Call of Duty that you might not agree with, and I don't think a lot of people would agree with, but it's my opinion, so you're going to have to deal with it and listen to it if you're watching this video. So before we do get into the video, I wanted to say thank you for the support on my recent videos. It has been incredible, getting over 100, a lot of times over 200 views and a bunch of love, getting right back into YouTube. So I really did want to thank you for that. But yeah, now time to get into the video. So coming in at number 5, I think Call of Duty needs to get rid of the campaign. Campaign was a big part of early Call of Duty games, but I just don't think it's worth it to still have in Call of Duty. At the time, those campaign modes were a bigger deal. People actually played them. I don't think a ton of the Call of Duty player base still plays the campaign on an annual basis, and even if they do, I think there are better uses of development money and time, and focus more on the game modes that actually get played, like multiplayer, ranked play, Warzone, all of that. Definitely let me know what you think about these unpopular opinions. I'm really interested to see what you have to say. But now on to number 4, we need a little bit less customization within Call of Duty. So I'm not saying strip all customization and all settings out of the game, because I definitely think it's nice having the customization that we do, but it would be kind of nice to not have as much of the game be determined by settings and not have to watch like a 20-minute video at the start of the year to get perfect graphic settings for the best FPS and the best competitive advantage. And like in Around the Bar, Zuma was talking about how audio settings are kind of a crappy thing. Like, awareness is such a big thing in Call of Duty, and when I can just sit in a corner and sound whore a guy walking halfway across the map, I'm not a big fan of that, so I would like to see them just turn it down a bit with the customization settings, make it a little bit simpler, and see what that does for the game. Coming in at number 3, TDM sucks as a game mode. Now this may be wildly unpopular to a lot of people, because I know a lot of players, especially casual players, do enjoy TDM. I am not saying to remove it. I think it's too iconic to just completely wipe it from the game, but I just don't enjoy TDM. The spawns kind of suck because they're flipping all the time, because there's no objective to play around. You're kind of getting into random gunfights. You're going around every corner hoping that there's someone there. I'm not a big fan of that, if I'm being completely honest. So I am not a fan of TDM. I play it like the first weekend of the beta when it's one of the only game modes available, and that's about it. Now, I'm not saying to remove it. Like I think I said before, I've recorded this video a couple of times. I'm not saying to remove it. I don't think they ever could remove TDM, as it is so iconic, but I would be completely fine if they did, because I do not like the game mode in the slightest. Next, coming in at number 2, we don't actually want a full remaster release of a Call of Duty as a primary COD release. I always see people saying like, oh, if MW2, like the original one, or Black Ops 2 released, the game would be so back. I completely disagree with this. I think people like the idea of those games coming back as a full release, but people would get bored so fast, they would recognize how much stuff is just completely broken in those games. Like, can you imagine One Man Army NoobTube in 2025, 2026? People would throw an absolute fit if they saw that in the game. I'm sure they would tweak it if they re-released it, but I just don't think the game would necessarily stand up in 2025, 2026. I think if they ever do package it with a less popular game, that's a decent idea, but I really don't think the community wants a full remaster of like a Black Ops 2 as much as they may think they do. Now finally, coming in at number 1, I don't think SBMM is totally awful. Don't get me wrong, I would much rather not have SBMM in the game. I would much rather it be more random who you get matched up with in your games. But, I mean, it's pretty clear that it's not going anywhere. SBMM is going to be around, and I would just like to see them focus more on tuning it down a bit, making SBMM a little bit less strong, and not as obnoxious to decent players. But I just don't think it's realistic to say we've got to completely eliminate SBMM from Call of Duty. What I would like to see is having like a tutorial game mode for new players like some games have. Kind of like Rainbow Six Siege, where you have to kind of learn the game a little bit. Maybe on a new account for the first 5 levels or so, you're able to get into like a really easy lobby with other new players with SBMM turned off and kind of learn the game. It eliminates some of the need for SBMM, but it also prevents Call of Duty pubs from just being as sweaty as they are and unenjoyable. So I would love to see SBMM removed, but since we know it's not going to be, I think that would be a better option, as well as just not making it so strong. Tune it down a bit so that you can still have your good games. It just feels like SBMM has been cranked to the absolute max for the last few years, and I definitely don't agree with that. But yeah, those are my 5 unpopular Call of Duty opinions. If you do agree with any of them, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. I'm starting to prepare for the next Call of Duty, getting excited to release some content in that. But for now, we're on Black Ops 6. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Twitch at twitch.tv/seasons and my Twitter at x.com/season_. And I will catch you very soon with another video. See ya.